But I do have a list here of things that we can talk about. Kathleen has some sort of sickness. Come here, Kathleen. Oh, no. We got to get into Web Girl Kathleen. Yeah. Web Girl Kathleen has a sickness. Oh. What is your sickness?
I'm afraid of belly buttons.
And there's a name for it, right?
There's a name for it. Yeah, it's I can't even say the name of it.
I believe it's omphalophobia.
Oh yeah. I don't like belly buttons.
Omphalophobia. So
what do you mean you're scared of them?
I'm scared of my own belly button.
Now, what is it that frightens you about belly buttons?
I don't know. I start hyperventilating when I think about belly buttons. My belly button is so gross because I can't touch it and I can't clean it out because I'm afraid of my own belly button.
Okay, so no, you're not kidding.
I'm not kidding. Like, if my husband tries to touch my stomach anywhere near my belly button, I will sock him in the face.
What is it about the belly button that you don't like?
I don't know. I don't like belly buttons.
Well, let's look at belly buttons. You know, originally that was where you were connected to your mother.
Yeah.
Do
you not like your mother?
The umbilical cord.
I'm just thinking about the skin and the belly button and then it coming out and then being connected. And then
all right. Well, look, I don't want to belittle your fears of belly buttons, okay?
I know that it's irrational.
No. No, if it's real to you, it's real to you. And so who are we to judge?
Yeah.
But life after the phone tap. Let's do the Garrett phone tap. And the break after that, I want to talk about people's fears that some may feel are irrational.
Yeah.
But they're your fears, and so therefore they are real to you. And so who are we to make fun of you?
Yeah.
Belly buttons, really?
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I just did it.
They are a little strange.
Do you have an innie or an outie?
I have an innie.
I've got a Volvo. All right. So life after the phone tap, we'll get into what you may think or what your friends may think are irrational fears, but we need to make this a judge-free zone where people can call up and say, hi, I'm afraid of belly buttons, and we cannot make fun of them.
Okay.
We'll try our best. We'll do our very best not to make fun of people. All right? Look at all these people texting in. I'm the same way. I can't touch mine or I can't watch anyone else touch theirs.
Really? Wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah, people have the same phobia. What are you afraid of? See, I don't think I'm alone in this. I'm afraid of snakes.
That's pretty common, but I don't feel like that's an irrational fear because it's keeping you safe because some snakes are very venomous.
Some are.
My dad's afraid of snakes.
Yeah.
Oh, he won't even.
Just looking at a snake on TV, knowing it can't get to me, I'm still afraid of it. They're just
What about spiders?
Spiders I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm terrified of spiders and cockroaches.
Oh, yeah.
But these are not unusual things to be afraid of.
Right.
Then we found out that Web Girl Kathleen is afraid of belly buttons.
That's an irrational fear because a belly button's not going to kill you.
Everybody's got one.
It's irrational to you, but she can't tell us why she's afraid of belly buttons. So we wonder if something happened to her as a child. There's something weird about the belly button. To me, the belly button, we all look like little aliens when we're born, and I think that belly button's a part of it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Anyway, let's go talk to Amy. Hello, Amy.
Good morning.
Deathly afraid of what?
I can't say it. It's the M word, the yellow condiment that people put on.
May I say the word mustard?
Oh, it's disgusting.
See, now I'm afraid of mayonnaise, so
I know
I
you
totally
are.
get
Yeah.
it.
Guys,
feel you.
There's a difference between being afraid and just not liking it. But you're actually afraid of it, Amy?
I'm afraid to the point that my coworkers found out. They hid an open bottle behind my computer. And for days I was freaking out because I could smell it. And then when I finally saw it, I screamed and made someone remove it. So my dad used to chase me around with bottles of it.
Well, no, but
I'm
Amy,
so deathly afraid.
But Amy, stop laughing at her, Froggy. She's really afraid of it. No, but so it's not a disgusting taste. It's the actual condiment itself, including the taste. You're afraid of it.
Yeah, the smell, everything.
Why?
It's just, I can't even be around it. I don't know. I remember being that way when I was like 3 years old at my grandparents' house. My grandfather had some. And from that point forward, I just got a whiff of it. And I hate the color. I hate the word. I hate everything about it.
I remember being in school with mayonnaise, and I remember my mom getting calls saying, hey, Danielle just threw up. You need to come pick her up. She's sick. And my mom would say, did somebody sit next to her at lunch with mayonnaise? And then they'd say, oh, we'll find out. And they go, well, if that's the case, send her back to class because that's what did it.
But again, I'm asking, is it you just don't like the taste or just you're afraid of the concept?
I've never eaten it. I've never eaten it. I'm just afraid of it. Like
mayonnaise
deathly, I will run.
Now, is it
I tell
all
people
kinds of
I'm
mustard?
allergic.
Like, what about deli mustard? Like, is it just
No, all of
yellow
it.
French's mustard?
How about a honey mustard?
No, all of it.
Dijon. All right. Well, thank you, Amy. There you go.
You're
So,
welcome.
I promise people they could be safe and talk about their fears. We do not laugh at them.
No,
We're not
get it.
laughing.
I
All right.
know. I understand. I'm scared to death of it. My husband's not allowed to bring it in the house.
All right.
So.
All right. Well, thank you, Amy. Let's go talk to Jessica. Jessica.
Good morning.
You are not only grossed out, but afraid of touching wet feet.
Yeah, dry feet, that's fine. Wet feet, no, it's no go.
What is it about wet feet that's different than dry feet?
I don't know. It's the water and the texture, and then they start getting like pruny, and oh god, I have goosebumps.
Now,
I
this is a very specific fear. How?
Yeah.
When did you first realize this was a problem?
a few years ago, I guess. I don't know. With my own feet, and then with my son, when I had my son, I was saved because of like washcloths and things like that. But now that he's 2 years old, I give him the soap and tell him to wash his feet.
Yeah. Hey, you're 2 years old. You're on your own. Wash your own damn feet.
Exactly.
All
So
right.
you're independent now.
But you're not grossed out by it as much as you are afraid. There's a fear.
Yeah, I can't do it. My entire family thinks it's hilarious. They like talk about wet feet all the time. They try to like describe it to me to like.
Oh, wow. That's not
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
All right. Well, Jessica,
No,
thank you.
correct.
Thank you very much.
I wonder what she thinks wet feet are going to do to her.
I don't know. But you know what? You can't explain it sometimes.
No,
Let's go
yeah.
talk to Alyssa. Alyssa,
Hi.
you actually have to take pills when you wear socks because you are afraid of socks.
I am. They completely terrify me not being able to move my toes around.
So it's that feeling of like being confined.
Yes. To the point where when I'm sleeping at night, I can't even have my toes under the blankets.
Huh.
Your toes must be
Wow.
free to roam as they wish.
They do. I live in Cleveland, and I will wear flip-flops in the winter to avoid having to wear socks.
Now, have you ever talked to a therapist or someone about this and to ask them, "Hey, why do you think I'm afraid to have my toes constricted?"
I have not, but that might be a good idea.
It's so wild.
Huh.
You know, we all have these weird feelings about certain things in life, and you try sometimes. If you try really hard, you can actually trace it back to something that maybe happened to you as a kid or something. But sometimes you can't. You just can't.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's completely irrational. My friends make fun of me for it all the time.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
see-
funny that the people closest to us, as soon as they find out what you're afraid of,
Ha! You're
they're
afraid
like,
of socks.
Oh, of course.
My sister is afraid of balloons.
Right.
And every time we have balloons around, I am the worst person. I'll like rub them. And she just tenses up.
That's not nice. All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. Good luck with your sock thing. Hello, Jen.
Hi.
What are you afraid of?
Caterpillars.
Now, what is it about caterpillars?
Wow.
I don't know. I just feel like they're secretively like vicious. I don't know.
They're up to something.
Well, and they're kind of hairy, which is unnerving.
Yes, and I feel like this fear follows me around everywhere I go because I'm a teacher. So when I taught kindergarten, I had to read The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Like every time I read that book, I would feel really just not good. And then I taught third grade, and we actually studied them and watched them turn into butterflies, and I wanted to die every single day.
Okay, Jen, I have a really strange question, but hang in there with me. So I'm terrified of centipedes, and a big part of it is because for some reason I'm afraid they're going to crawl into my mouth. Do you have the same fear?
I mean, if they even come near me, I'm fearful. So I think the mouth thing, like you just took it to a whole new level.
Oh, now you've really done it. I mean, they're like snakes with feet.
Oh, they're just
with
I'm
legs.
I'm so afraid.
All right, Jen. Good luck with your caterpillar thing. All right. Thanks for listening to us. Hello, Caitlin.
Hey.
You're deathly afraid of eyeballs.
Yes.
Well, if you
And I
think
know it
about
sounds
the concept
so
of
stupid.
the concept of the eyeball is sort of freaky if you really stop and think about it. But go ahead. Why are you afraid of
It is.
eyeballs?
I think it goes back to about fourth grade. We had to dissect one, and when you first cut into it, that eye juice just squirts out.
Yeah, there's eye juice.
Oh.
Yeah, we're dealing with eye juice here.
You had to dissect an eyeball?
Yeah, we did too.
Whoa.
Yes.
I thought a frog was bad.
So is it okay if it's like in the person's head, or do you have a hard time making eye contact?
No, I
You
look
do
at
now.
people's like eyebrows or that little space between your two eyes.
Right.
No, and it grosses me out. If anyone ever asks me, like, do I have something in my eye or if someone's putting contacts in? No.
Yeah, back off.
I can't do it.
Stay away from my eyeballs. So
man.
if I can look at you from across the room, I can look at you. I can look you in the eye. But the eyeball itself is a very odd little thing. It is.
Ometophobia.
It's what's it called?
Yes.
Ometophobia?
The fear of eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wow.
All right, Caitlin.
And
Thank
you
you.
can get so much in it.
Good luck
Thank
with that. What's up, Scary?
Someone just texted in that they're afraid of the Mrs. Butterworth pancake syrup bottle.
Well, she is kind of freaky.
Sometimes she comes alive, but
She
usually
does.
she's like inviting you to have some pancakes.
She's fantastic on my pancakes.
Tastes delicious.
On my flaps. My flapjacks. Hello, Alana.
Hi.
You're afraid of tiny holes. Now,
Yes.
explain this to me.
It's called trypophobia. If you look it up and you see it, it's disgusting.
No, what is it about tiny holes? And can you give us examples?
Okay, so I don't know how to explain why I'm scared of it, but if you look at like honeycomb up close, especially like the cereal, you know, the honeycomb cereal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the tiny holes in it just grosses me out. And there's like, what else? Like strawberries up close.
Yeah, when you see
that's
the-
featured on American Horror Story this season.
Yeah,
What,
that's
fear,
right.
a fear of tiny holes?
Uh-huh.
Really?
The clown, the one that's afraid of clowns, is also afraid of the tiny holes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. And then I told somebody, and they were like, yeah, you have to look it up. I've heard that's a thing. And everybody used to call me dramatic, and now I've been hearing of all these people that have this fear.
Yeah, Alana, don't watch American Horror Story this season.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to.
Yes, Greg T.
I just have some questions. Like, I'm just trying to think about things that I may be afraid of or not afraid of.
What?
But like we all know I don't like hair. Is it that I'm afraid of it or I don't like it?
I don't know. There could be a difference. Like for instance, someone called earlier about mustard. Is she just, she hates the taste or she's afraid of mustard? She says she's afraid of mustard. She's never eaten it.
Like when we have plans that we have to go, let's say on a trip or something, I fear my travel. So like for like a whole entire week, I'm fearing that something as bad is going to happen. I'm afraid of travel.
That's not unusual.
So that's not
to have
different.
anxiety for traveling. No, not at all. We're talking about Alana being afraid of tiny holes.
Okay, when I cut my chicken, I'm afraid that I might see a vein inside my chicken. So I'm afraid of chicken.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Because
we
of that. Is
we
that
could
the same?
probably do a case study just on you
forget it.
alone.
I'm trying to figure
All right.
out.
You alone have
Alana,
a, you know.
thank you, and good luck with your tiny hole problem.
Thank you.
That sounded weird. And what about Lindsay, though? Lindsay's afraid of crayons.
I've heard of that before.
Now, why do you think you're afraid of crayons, Lindsay?
I don't know. I've always been afraid of crayons since elementary school, and then I decided to become an elementary school teacher and just completely ban them from the classroom.
You banned
How can you
crayons.
ban crayons?
Because she's afraid of them. Now, you're afraid of them? Is it the smell you don't like it, the look? What is it?
I think it's the smell and the way it feels. Like it's very waxy, and then the paper on top of that. Just the combination just, it freaks me out.
So you're not talking about being grossed out by crayons. You're actually afraid of crayons.
I'm terrified.
Terrified of crayons.
It's interesting because I'm looking up like different phobias, and it's not just necessarily being afraid of something, but it's hating something. So that makes sense with the mustard thing. That makes sense with the crayons thing. You're not necessarily running from it, but you hate it.
But when we brought a clown in the studio, Danielle crawled under the desk.
And
she was
cried.
so and cried.
Yeah.
Remember that time that Greg T dressed up as Captain Mayonnaise?
Yeah, that was great too.
And he had a water gun filled with mayonnaise and was shooting it across the
And
room.
let's just add, this was all for my birthday.
Happy birthday. Maria.
So nice.
Maria, I have to. I'm maybe not as turned off as you are, but this drives me crazy. Tell everyone what makes you a little nutty.
The sound of a Sharpie or a marker when you're writing. I hate it. It cringes my skin.
Well, you know, for me, the equivalent is fingernails on a chalkboard.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing, right?
Yes, it's similar. But mostly the Sharpie, when I see one of my coworkers picking up a Sharpie, my fingers cringe, my skin starts crawling. I have to walk away or put my hands over my ears.
I don't know.
Hear it.
And I don't know, Maria. Some of these things just cannot be explained. We just know it's true. So, you know, you just got to live with it and stay away from Sharpies. I mean, what are you going to do? I know. People think you're weird, right?
Yes, they do, and they do it on purpose.
Yeah. That's another.
And they, no.
Like Bethany keeps playing with balloons around people who are afraid of balloons. Well, Maria, thank you. And finally, we talked to Mark. Mark is afraid of hard pretzels. Why are you laughing at Mark? Why are you laughing at Mark? Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
So soft pretzels are good?
I'm all about soft pretzels. Basically, everyone in my friends, family, they all make fun of me. A few years ago, I got one lodged in the roof of my mouth, a hard pretzel.
Right.
And actually had to go to the hospital to get it removed.
All right, so
And
that
it was
makes sense then.
Now, were you afraid of hard pretzels before the hard pretzel incident?
I loved hard pretzels until that happened.
Oh.
And
Well, what if you just
that
took
was-
smaller bites of a hard pretzel?
That's what everyone tells me. Everyone tells me it was just a freak accident, but it really, I do not.
You know what, Mark? Apparently, your run-in with a hard pretzel. You guys stop laughing. Stop laughing at him.
I'm laughing.
Your run-in with a hard pretzel was a very traumatic thing for you, so therefore you have given up hard pretzels for life, and that's your prerogative. You're fine.
Soft pretzels are fine. I love soft pretzels.
All right, you go for it. I love a good soft pretzel
But that's
too.
all it takes. Like I remember when I worked at Consumers, a store, somebody stole money out of my cash register,
Mhm.
and because of that, I was writing with a blue pen at the time. So I would not write with a blue pen because I thought that blue pen caused the
Oh, yeah.
problem. So
That
I had a
makes
problem with
perfect
blue
sense.
pens. Shut up, Froggy.
That
That
is an
caused the
irrational
problem.
connection.
I know, but if
Oh, yeah,
something
totally.
happens to you and
All
it
right.
makes you change things.
All right. Well, good luck, Mark. And that means more hard pretzels for the rest of us. All right, Mark. Thank you, man. Have a great day, and enjoy a nice soft pretzel.
Oh, Mark.
Okay, take care.
Not cool.
Yes, Bethany.
By the way, so a lot of our listeners, and myself included, have misophonia, which is like hating certain sounds.
Right.
And I'm on WebMD, and they say a severe reaction to misophonia is rage, anger, hatred, panic, a desire to kill whatever is making the noise, suicidal thoughts, and skin crawling. Can you imagine it's so bad that you want to kill somebody?
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's insane.
My son has that though, and he gets really crazy when he's around somebody that's chewing.
Chewing. Well, scary. When Scary chews with his mouth open, and
Yeah.
here people want to kill people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Nate keeps killing his dates.
Are they eating a banana around you? That sound is the worst.
Not a murderer.